From Wrigley Field, where you can now admire the statue of Ron Santo as you head on into the ballpark. Fans tonight getting their camouflage Cubs caps. And we present Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Game 2 of a 4-game series as the Cubs host the Atlanta Braves. Hi again, everyone. Bob Brenly and Len Casper with you. Nice night for baseball. Got a lot of rain earlier today. Hopefully that's it. Cubs lost 3-0 last night. They left 15 men on base. Boy, if Aramis Ramirez could have just come up every time, they would have scored some runs.
Find a way to sneak him in that lineup 2 or 3 times, because he is undoubtedly one of the hottest hitters in all of baseball. And not only with the home run ball, we know he's cherry-picked 12 first-pitch home runs this year, but he's driving the ball to all parts of the park. Obviously seeing the ball extremely well right now. Just need to get a couple of his teammates to pick up the pace and hopefully match these numbers.
And he really has done it most of the season, hitting for more power than he did early in the campaign, but hitting over 500 during his 11-game hitting streak. Cubs are looking for a lot more success tonight. It'll be against a left-hander, Mike Minor, who's 2-0 against them.
Yeah, they saw Mike Minor just a few weeks ago in Atlanta. This guy's a power pitcher, big-time strikeout pitcher. He did give up a bunch of base hits against the Cubs last time out, coming off a real stellar outing against the Giants. 6 innings, 4 hits of shutout baseball.
It's his 4th stint in the big leagues. Same for Casey Coleman, the right-hander. Bobby hopes to be a lot better than his last time out.
Well, there's no secrets with Casey Coleman. When he's down in the strike zone, he's very effective, gets a lot of ground balls. When he leaves that ball up in the zone, he gets hit hard.
So the Cubs are 2-2 on this homestand, 2-2 against the Braves this season. They have a big lead in the wild card. So coming up, the Cubs hope to not think about the frustrations from last night when they kept leaving men on base. It's game 2 of this series, the Cubs and the Braves. Next.
Brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. 75 years of being right here in Illinois means no one's closer to your wellness. Experience wellness everywhere. Subway. Every day at Subway, choose from many delicious regular footlong subs for just $5. Subway. Eat fresh. Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today, or go to shophonda.com and find great values on a new Honda. AT&T Uverse. Find out more of what's possible at att.com. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates.
Welcome back. Cubs baseball here on Comcast Sportsnet. Right-hander Casey Coleman, second start since replacing Carlos Zambrano in the Cubs starting rotation. And he'll face this Braves Southwest starting lineup, tied for first in the National League in home runs. Bourne, Prado, McCann at the top. Dan Uggla with his 30th home run, 4 of them have been against the Cubs. Chipper Jones at third. Eric Hinsky gets the nod at first. Alex Gonzalez at short. Jason Hayward in right for the injured Jose Constanza. And the pitchers Mike Minor.
Take a look at the Cubs defensively tonight, brought to you by Degree. Soriano, Bird, and Reed Johnson across the outfield, left to right. Ramirez and Castro will be on the left side of the infield. Jeff Baker and Carlos Pena on the right side. Giovanni Soto doing the catching tonight for right-hander Casey Coleman. Very simple. We mentioned it in the open of the show for Casey Coleman. When his command is good, he's keeping the ball out of the middle of the plate, especially keeping the ball down. Gets a lot of ground balls, can be very, very effective when he leaves that pitch up over the heart of the plate with some elevation. That's when he tends to get hit very hard.
Check out the umpires. Jeff Nelson's a crew chief, and tonight he gets to dust off the plate and call balls and strikes. Yeah. Rayburn, Foster, and Welke around the bases. It's turned into a lovely evening. The wind is blowing out. Overcast skies, but we're dry after a wet start to the day. And it'll be Coleman against Michael Bourne, and the first pitch is taken for strike one.
Quiet night for Bourne in the ball game last night. He did single in his first at bat of the game, but was doubled off on a fly ball to center field. A great running catch by Marlon Byrd. A good relay back to the infield. They were able to double him off first, and he struck out, grounded to first, and grounded back to the pitcher.
It's tapped foul. 73 degrees. A little more humid than last night. And a southwest wind at just 3 miles an hour.
It was blowing considerably harder during the Braves batting practice earlier today, and it seems like I say this every night. Visiting teams come in here to Wrigley and they love to put on a show in batting practice, and the Braves did not disappoint.
Got him on the inside corner. That's an area Casey Coleman would like to exploit.
Let's take a look at that strike three on our Corona pitch tracks. That's that comeback off the body sinker. Starts it just off the plate, tails it back to the inside corner. The idea being that that left-handed hitter will freeze seeing fastball in. The late movement brings it right back to the inside corner for strike three.
Brings up Martin Prado. Casey has talked about pitching more inside, keeping these hitters honest. Kind of made mention of the idea of how to get hitters out at lower levels. And we've talked about this before. You can have success at AAA by doing certain things that you can't do and have a lot of success at this level. Starlin Castro back in the lineup makes the grab. And one of those things, Bob, is pitching inside. You have to be able to do that at some point to have long-lasting success at this level.
Well, no question about it, Len, especially when you're a control pitcher. Casey Coleman is not the kind of guy that's going to stand out there and throw 98-mile-an-hour four-seam fastballs by big league hitters. He relies on movement, changing speeds, and when you are that type of pitcher, it's incumbent that you push that hitter off the plate from time to time and don't let him lean out there and take away that outside corner strike.
1 ball, no strikes to Brian McCann, the catcher. 0 for 3 with a walk in the opener. Braves start the night a whopping 8.5 games ahead of the second place San Francisco Giants in the wild card race. Biggest lead of the season for the Braves as they're going to go down quietly 1-2-3 on an 8-pitch inning by Casey Coleman. Cubs coming up when we come back. Minor, boy, it's rare to get shut out and leave as many as 15 on base, but that's what happened last night. Castro back in there, Johnson in right, Ramirez hot, and against the Braves too. Baker cleans up, Peña's at first, Marlon Byrd in center. Soriano in left, and the battery is Soto and Coleman.
Quick look at the Braves defensively tonight. It'll be Martin Prado in left field, Michael Bourne in center, Jason Hayward in the lineup. Jose Constanza sprayed his ankle slightly. We probably will see him before this series is over, but it's Hayward in right field tonight. Chipper Jones, Alex Gonzalez on the left side of the infield, Dan Ugla and Eric Hinsky on the right side. Ryan McCann doing the catching for the Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher, left-hander Mike Minor. See his numbers in 9 starts this year. As Len mentioned, 4 different stints up here at the major league level with the Braves. You see his combination of pitches, really good straight changeup, very effective against right-handed hitters.
2 previous starts against the Cubs, both wins, and he has struck out 18 batters in under 12 innings in those 2 starts, including 12, a career high last year here on August 22nd, so almost a year ago to the day. Castro with a leadoff single. A mental day off last night after the mental gaffe on Sunday night, and he jumps back in the lineup and has a 7-game hitting streak.
I'll tell you, Len, one of the greatest challenges any manager or head coach in any sport faces is trying to figure out how to motivate each individual guy. And most of the time, the thing you can do that hurts him the most is take away playing time. Starlin Castro did not look like a happy camper sitting on that bench last night.
Reed Johnson looks at strike 1. Cubs have hit well against lefties in terms of the team batting average. .271, second to the Reds in the National League. Starlin Castro went into that previous at bat at .347 against lefties, 5th in the National League. But the Cubs are 5 games under when they face a left-handed starter. 0-2. When you look at the makeup of their lineup, and it's been this way for several years, you can understand why the Cubs would be better against lefties than righties.
That's to be expected when your better hitters in the lineup, your more consistent hitters in the lineup, are all right-handed. You would expect them to pound on left-handed starters.
Castro had about a 1-step lead at first, but Minor threw over there anyway. Minor, a 1st-round pick out of Vanderbilt in 2009, as he gets Johnson to chase for the first out. Follow all of tonight's stats and info in real time with Cubs in-game live only at csnchicago.com. Brought to you by Honda. Say cheese.
Pizza.
Got that one down. 1 strike to Aramis Ramirez. Seems to be on his way to a 100 RBI campaign. 19 away from that, with over a month to go. And he drills it into center. He's hitting a dozen straight.
Just continues to barrel up the baseball just about every at bat. Tailing fastball at 91 right on the outside corner. This is a great piece of hitting to just line it right back up the middle of the field for a base hit. I think that's the reason Ramirez has had the 12-game hitting streak. He is not strictly in pull mode. He picks his spots, he gets into good counts, and he looks for a pitch to drive out of the ballpark. But when he happens to fall behind in the count, he's more than willing to drive that ball to the opposite fielder, in this case right back up the middle.
Well, the Cubs were in this situation about, what, 7 times last night? He stranded 15 over the 9 innings. As Jeff Baker steps in. And Rudy Jaramillo, the Cubs hitting coach, had a little group meeting about these situations. And he feels like the approach has changed, that guys are trying not to get beat on a fastball with runners in scoring position. And he just wants them to trust themselves, trust their hands, have confidence. And I think what's happening, Bob, guys are maybe putting a little extra pressure on themselves because of the here we go again mentality, which you can understand. Up in the air out into center, Michael Bourne will get to it. Castro ready to tag, and he will make third, 2 outs. I don't know how you cannot put a little extra pressure on yourself when you continue to have innings like we've seen.
It's just human nature to want to be the guy to come up with the big base hit or the big home run to snap the Cubs out of their malaise with runners in scoring position. But the one thing you have to realize is, who is the pressure on? Who should be feeling the pressure in this situation? Not Carlos Pena. He's got at least 3 strikes to work with in this at bat. The pressure right now is on Mike Minor to execute good pitches.
Braves start to shift on the infield as the shortstop Alex Gonzalez almost behind second. You see where Ugla is out in shallow right. Martin Prado out in left. You can't play much deeper in left in this ballpark. He's almost sitting in the bleachers.
That's usually an indication of a guy who is unsure of himself defensively in the outfield. Martin Prado had been an infielder most of his career. I mean, he's more than adequate as a left fielder, but feels more comfortable playing deep so everything is in front of him. The Cubs base runners should be aware of how deep the Prado is playing. I mean, a base hit past Chipper Jones into left field, Ramirez could possibly go first to third because of the depth of the left fielder Prado.
We'll keep an eye on him and see if his depth changes for some of the Cubs righties. I've never seen a left fielder play that deep in the 7 years we've been here. Maybe late in a game when you're playing no doubles, but it's the first inning.
Well, he wants to be sure he's in a position where he can hear suggestions from the fans out in the bleachers.
Oh, he is. Well, Pena can't hit a ball over him. If he does, it'll be a home run. That we know.
Good night to hit fly balls to the outfield. Even not blowing hard out, but blowing straight out to center field right now.
A 1-2 pitch blocked by McCann. Well, you know, it's possible that one of the other reasons why you see a lot of runs scored on nights like this is because the outfielders have to play deeper, and that gives the hitters a little more room in front of them. One of the reasons why Coors Field has been such a great offensive park. Not only the lighter air, but there's a lot of space to cover. Three and 2. That'll give Ramirez a head start with 2 outs. It's Marlon Byrd waits on deck. Pena strikes out. That left on base count up to 17 for the Cubs in this series. 0-0 at the end of 1.
You'll see a start earlier this year against the Washington Nationals. On the right is his start tonight. As he begins his motion on the left in Washington, he had a little bit of a step toward first base, which made it extremely hard for him to close his upper body and turn his back like he likes to do to home plate. Now he is stepping more in a direct line to home plate, which makes it much easier for him to close that shoulder and front hip and then drive toward home plate. Freeze Can brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
An easy part of the order here. Ugla, Jones, and then Eric Hinsky. And Ugla with 4 homers already against the Cubs in 4 games, 30 on the year. Major League record 5th 30 homer season for a second baseman. 1-1.
And Ugla, one of the Braves that was putting on a show in batting practice today, hit one on, I call it the Glen Allen Hill building across the street on Waveland. Hit it up into the bleachers on top of the building. Off a 50-mile-an-hour fastball from a coach.
Here's a pitch, 3-1. Coleman's 24, 6 feet, 185 pounds. Cubs took him in the 15th round in 2008. High fly ball. Marlon Byrd back to the warning track. He will leap and make the catch. Second year as a Cub, and he's not afraid to go into those vines. Actually made it look pretty routine, even though it never is out there.
That's one that'll make you hold your breath as a pitcher. With the wind blowing out here at Wrigley Field tonight, a high fly ball just to the left of straightaway center, and Marlon Byrd measures his steps perfectly, makes that leaping catch right in front of the vines.
Fastball misses to Chipper Jones. Chipper has battled some more injuries this season. Had right knee surgery in July. Strained right quad recently, followed by some left knee soreness. Actually jammed his knee while running to first base a week ago Sunday against the Cubs. He pops it up over near third base. Foul ground. It's Ramirez, and he'll make the catch.
Take one more look at Casey Coleman's delivery and the slight change that he's made here tonight, working with Mark Riggins down in the bullpen as he warmed up before the game. On the left, once again, you'll see his step is more to the outside of the rubber, as opposed to tonight where he's stepping almost directly in line to home plate, and then he lifts that left leg, turns his back to home plate. Now the one on the right, it's much easier to get to the position, that balance position right there, when he lifts that left leg. It's much easier from the delivery he's using tonight. Now sometimes as a hitter or a pitcher, something just doesn't feel right. You feel like you're working too hard to do the things that used to come very naturally to you. And that's where your coaches and that video work really comes into play. You notice differences from when you felt good as opposed to when you're not going so good.
Eric Hinsky, who was a Cubs 17th round pick out of the University of Arkansas in 1998 from Menasha, Wisconsin. He grew up a Cub fan. He would win the American League Rookie of the Year award with Toronto in 2002. So while he began his career in the Cubs chain, he never did play a major league game as a Cub. And he taps that one foul.
He's a valuable weapon for Freddie Gonzalez off the bench. 2 pinch hit home runs this year among his 7 hits as a pinch hitter. Plug him into that lineup to spell Freddie Freeman from time to time at first base. He's a real good veteran at bat.
Cubs sent him to Oakland in March of 2001. A deal that involved Miguel Cairo coming to the Cubs, and then that December was traded from Oakland to Toronto in a deal involving Billy Koch. And when he won the Rookie of the Year with the Blue Jays, the runner-up that year was Rodrigo Lopez, then pitching with the Baltimore Orioles. Lopez won 15 games. Probably seems like a lifetime ago for both these guys. Been around the block a few times since. And that's a nice segue. Being around the block a few times, we want to wish our outstanding director, Dave Turner, a happy birthday.
Been around the block a whole bunch. Glad he's spending his birthday with us.
I was going to mention his birthday, but I wanted it to be at the right time. I think that fit.
That works.
Hinske into the right field corner. And he'll cruise into second with the Braves' first hit. A 2-out double here in the second.
I mentioned Hinske will give you a good professional at bat every time up there. Laid off some tough borderline pitches, fouled off a few others, and ultimately gets a pitch he can handle in the middle of the plate. Finds that corner in right field for a 2-out double.
Well, it is interesting, Bob, just to look at, okay, 2002, it's 9 years ago. Some of the Rookie of the Year candidates, just to see how many of those guys have turned into all-star caliber players, how many aren't even around anymore. Carlos Pena finished in a tie for 8th for the AL Rookie of the Year. Remember Jorge Julio, he finished 3rd behind his teammate Rodrigo Lopez. John Lackey 4th. But guys like Bobby Kelty, Josh Phelps, Kevin Mench, Tony Fiore, Dustin Moore.
I remember a couple of those guys.
Not really household names at this point. Jason Jennings was the National League Rookie of the Year, pitching with the Rockies. Brad Wilkerson finished 2nd. Mark Pryor tied for 7th.
You mentioned Jason Jennings on this day in baseball history. Back in 2001, Jason Jennings in his major league debut hit a home run and threw a complete game shutout against the Mets. Good start.
Yeah.
Where do you go from there?
Shallow center. This is trouble, and it's caught. Marlon Byrd will get it. And Baker was looking for some help, and he got it from Marlon Byrd. talks about his injured left wrist, plus a full Major League recap. Join Luke and Pat for GMC Sportsnet Central after post-game live only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Couple of nice defensive plays by Marlon Byrd in the top half of this inning. He's struggled here lately at the plate. They start him early now, don't they?
I'm telling you. Throw it.
She's texting you. With Bob is B-A-A-A-A-A-A-A-A-A-B.
Usually you give a child that age anything, it immediately goes into their mouth. There it goes.
There
yeah.
we go.
It's inevitable. Going to play with the camera next.
Minor ready with a 2-2. And a called strike 3. Has missed some bats. He's frozen some batters against the Cubs here in his third start now. Don't miss the action as the Cubs host these Braves tomorrow here at Wrigley. Game time 7:05, but be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans get a Cubs catcher's backpack, compliments of Cottonelle. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. 3 strikeouts for Minor as Soriano hits it foul. I want to welcome all the men and women serving our country here and abroad, watching on the Armed Forces Network tonight. And as always, we thank you for what you do.
Absolutely. You're having a great night.
Low and inside, 1-1.
We'd also like to send our best wishes and support out to a huge Cubs fan back in the most beautiful place on earth, Cooperstown, New York. Niles Curtis, longtime Cubs fan, makes trips out to Mesa to catch the Cubs in spring training. Watching tonight back in Cooperstown with his lovely wife Nancy. Hope they're having a great night.
Big career numbers for Soriano against the Braves. He leans in, ready, and takes a 2-1 pitch outside. 3-1 with Soto on deck. Bob mentioned these teams did take batting practice. It was in jeopardy for a while. They had the tarp on the field, but Brown's crew able to get it off the field just in time for BP. Swing and a miss, 3-2.
Minor is not afraid to challenge with that fastball. He pitches comfortably at 89 to 91, but in certain situations he'll reach back and hit 94, 95. Boy, that is center cut right down the middle of the plate at 93 miles per hour. Soriano could only get a piece to stay alive.
Has always been a big strikeout guy, even though he's only been a pro since 2009. We mentioned Prado playing deep. He's got to lay out and make an excellent diving catch. Again, a lot of left fielders would have gotten to that ball a lot sooner, but because he plays deep, he had to dive and he got it.
Well, when you do play deep, your first reaction on just about every batted ball should be to come in. Prado got a great jump that time. Nice diving catch coming straight in to rob Alfonso Soriano of a base hit. A good shot, watching it all the way into the glove, able to hang on as he slides through that wet grass out there in shallow left field.
Soto with 2 outs. Looks at a fastball inside. Talking with some people before the game about how rare it is to leave as many on as the Cubs did last night without scoring a run. It's not impossible. I sent a quick email to our good friend Jason Stark, the national columnist. He likes those quirky numbers, and he knows how to use Baseball Reference's play index a lot better than I do. And going back to 1919, so the live ball era, he found that there was one other team, or the record for left on base for a team that was shut out in a 9-inning game is 16. So the Cubs didn't even set a record. The Mariners in 1998 against the Blue Jays were shut out 6-0 and left 16 men on base. And guess who the manager of the Mariners happened to be that year? Lou Piniella. How do you think he felt after that one? No runs and 16 left.
Look, you got to hit the ball. All there is to it.
4 strikeouts for Minor.
For just $1.89, but you don't have to remember it to love it. Prices and participation may vary. For a limited time, a la carte only.
The 4-game series. This is the second contest, and it's also the third of 4 straight night games. It's the first time the Cubs have had 4 straight night games during a Wrigley homestand since 2005. And you may remember earlier this season the Cubs played 10 consecutive night games for the first time ever. That includes home and road, as Jason Hayward looks at ball 1. He's in there because Jose Constanza has a slight ankle sprain, and as Bob mentioned, Braves hope he'll be back in the lineup by Thursday at the latest. And a tough sophomore year for Jason Hayward. Roll over bouncer to Baker. 1 away. The new Bud Light Bleachers Series provides fans with exciting new opportunities in the Bud Light Bleachers this season, including free T-shirt Mondays, $3 12-ounce draft Bud and Bud Light Tuesday nights, and $1 Vienna Beef Hot Dog Wednesdays. Tuesday night specials also available in select locations in the Seating Bowl. For more info or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Mike Minor bounces to Castro. 2 quick outs.
And then before Michael Bourne steps into the batter's box with 2 outs in the inning, we missed an anniversary. Saturday's game, Cubs-Cardinals, was a nationally televised game, and it was also the anniversary of one of our dear friends, Tommy Dare from Joe Stone Crab. Tommy and Arlene Dare have been married for 51 years. So happy belated anniversary to our good friend Tommy and Arlene Dare.
Absolutely. And I also missed this by a day, but I want to tell Jean Smith from McHenry, Illinois, I got your letter today. Her husband Rick, with his 62nd birthday yesterday. So we want to send Rick a belated happy birthday. Castro out, and he'll make the catch to retire Bourne, and Casey Coleman needed just 6 pitches to get through the Braves in the 3rd. Quaddy made his managerial debut, facing Jim Riggleman in the Washington Nationals. The Cubs would win that game, and back they would sweep that 3-game series. Casey Coleman started for the Cubs. Thomas Diamond getting that final out. And Coleman will lead off the Cubs' 3rd. And Jim Riggleman, coincidentally, here at Wrigley Field. He's now working for the San Francisco Giants. He's on a scouting mission.
Yes, he is. He's not actually undercover or anything like that, but
0-2 pitch is outside. 1-2. The Braves pitching staff has been almost untouchable. Braves have won 5 in a row, and they have allowed 3 runs total during this stretch. Now, having said that, I think there's some concern about Tommy Hanson, who's dealing with some shoulder issues. Did not throw a scheduled bullpen session today as Coleman fans. It's 5 Ks the first time through the order for Mike Minor. Jair Jurgen's velocity down. Got his first win in a while last night, but we've seen him better at times. I always want to get your starting pitching sorted out, but that's the biggest concern. Everything else seems to be in place for this club.
Well, and as usual with the Atlanta Braves, it seems like they have an inexhaustible supply of good young pitchers in their system, and they've got a young man named Julio Teheran who's leading their AAA team with 14 victories this season, an ERA of just 2.19. Figures to be the next guy in line.
Chipper Jones with the barehanded play to get Castro 2 down. We talked with Freddie Gonzalez. I asked him about the lead they have and if it has or will affect the way he uses his bullpen. Trying to protect the arms of Venters and Kimbrel in particular. He said it feels too early. He said not yet. He said he will only use those two guys in a tie game or with the lead. And he said a lot of the appearances that they've made were early in the season when the Braves played a multitude of extra inning contests. And we will probably not see Venters tonight. He got the save last night.
Well, hopefully we don't see Kimbrel either.
I would agree.
In the Braves dugout before the game today, when we were talking to Freddie, and later Don Sutton showed up, and we were talking about Venters, and Don Sutton has seen a heck of a lot more ball games than we have, and he's never seen a left-hander with that kind of power sinker. In the mid to upper 90s with sink. That's just incredible.
I was talking with a scout before the game who said he doesn't ever remember seeing more movement on any fastball with that velocity. 96, 97 miles an hour. I'll tell you that the pitch Venters struck out Marlon Byrd with in the 9th inning was one of the best sinking fastballs I've ever seen. It almost had changeup movement, but I think it was 96 or 97 miles an hour. Minor. Well, we'll go to break with this nasty pitch from last night. Johnny Venters against Marlon Byrd. Watch the movement. Wow.
Taco Bell open 1 a.m. or later.
Always great to see the Menards grounds crew in slow motion. Taking care of that infield dirt between innings.
You never see those guys move that slow in real life. Boy, what a great job they've done on the field here at Wrigley this summer. This ballpark has taken an awful lot of rain. Very hot, steamy, humid conditions for a couple of weeks in the middle of the seasons, and the field just looks absolutely fantastic.
Paul McCartney concerts. Pretty quick turnaround. There's a fastball for a strike, 0-2. Coleman has been sharp here early on, as has Mike Minor. Right down the chute. Time for our AT&T trivia question. Which Hall of Famer is the only pitcher to win a game against the Braves in all three cities they called home? And we mentioned those three cities last night: Boston, Milwaukee, and Atlanta. Okay, so a Hall of Famer, Brian McCann, a hard hit ball, and it's an out as he flies to Reed Johnson. So his career had to start before 1953, and it had to end after 1965. Hall of Fame pitcher, National League. And he finished, we are told, his career as a Cub in 1966. I'm going to go with Robin Roberts.
Well, as usual, I'll back you up on that.
Okay.
Sounds like a good guess.
One and one.
Boy, this is some of the most crisp stuff we've seen from Casey Coleman this season. Sinker is really good. Slider is good. He's keeping everything down there around the knees, except on those rare occasions when he wants to elevate a pitch.
Ugla stands pretty tall in the box. Ramirez will try to bare hand. Can't make the play. Looked like Ugla may have had just a little bit of trouble getting out of the box. I don't know if Aramas saw that or not. Do you think he had more time to glove that ball?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he had a lot more time than he realized. Ugla takes such a big swing, and then, as you mentioned, he slipped coming out of the batter's box. Ramirez tries to go for the barehanded play. I think he had plenty of time to glove it and throw on for the out at first base.
Chipper Jones deposits that one into right, and it'll send Ugla all the way around to third.
Chipper Jones with a very patient at bat his first time around before popping up to Aramis Ramirez at third base. This time ambushes Casey Coleman, chasing that first sinker and dropping it down that right field line for a base hit.
Career hit number 2,586. The lifelong Atlanta Brave made his debut back in '93. And he was a shortstop. He made his big league debut. Remember the outfield experiment. Chipper's played mostly third in his career. With 152 starts in left in 2002. 149 the following year.
I don't think it really matters much where you put Chipper Jones on the field. He's always been a very good athlete. You mentioned some of the nagging injuries more recently that have kept him out of the lineup, but you definitely want his bat in there somewhere.
Changeup missed. It's 3-0. All this happening after Coleman quickly got 2 outs. Ugla with the infield single. Jones with a base hit. And now it's 3-0 on Eric Hinsky. And they are loaded up.
If Casey Coleman can bounce back here and execute some good pitches on Alex Gonzalez, that walk to Eric Hinsky's not that bad.
You know, I was just going to say, if he were Tom Glavine or Greg Maddux, I think you'd say that was the unintentional intentional walk. I don't want to not give credit, though, to Casey. He's only 24. Maybe he did a little workaround action there. As you know, Hinsky doubled off him the last time up. He faces Gonzalez instead. There's a strike. There's the AT&T Uvers multi-view. Well, we can ask Casey tomorrow. That's the hardest part of our job, is the assumption of what's going on in a pitcher's mind. Again, just because he's young, I don't want to assume that he wasn't thinking what you were thinking.
You had a base open. It happened to be second base. As you said, Hinsky with a good at bat ended up with a double his last time up. I think perhaps Casey feels like he has better pitches to throw to Alex Gonzalez than he did to throw to Eric Hinsky, especially once he fell behind in the count.
But now he's got to throw a strike. It's 3-1. Gonzalez last night took his first walk in basically a month. So he is not an easy guy to walk. Three and two.
I've gotten the benefit of a doubt on that comeback sinker. It might have caught the corner there, just barely worked its way back to the corner at the knees.
Runners go on the 3-2, and a little flinch by the home plate umpire Jeff Nelson, but he did not get that borderline call. And Alex Gonzalez takes a rare walk, this time with the bases loaded. It's 1-0 Atlanta.
Tried to go right out to that outside corner at the knees once again. This one just didn't have the same movement as the pitch before. Didn't quite make it back far enough for the called strike. How does Alex Gonzalez lay off that pitch? Well, this is a guy that would swing at the rosin bag if he threw it up there, and he lays off a borderline pitch for ball 4.
I don't know, but one thing I do know is Coleman, who has, as you say, been as good as we've seen him this year, now in danger of giving up a bunch of runs. This could be a night saver for him, getting Jason Hayward. There's a way the Braves are pitching lately. You don't want to give up 3 or 4. I think that pitch is more about how Jason Hayward's going.
Yeah,
he can't get a break. Coleman gets a big break.
Yeah, that was further off of that side of the plate than the ball 4 to Alex Gonzalez.
1-2 now. Oh, high fly ball. Marlon Byrd going back on it at the track. That is a grand slam in and out of the basket. Jason Hayward with his first career grand slam, and it's 5-0 Atlanta on a 1-2 pitch.
When you're a control pitcher, it's incumbent that you hit your spots. Giovanni Soto, it slid in underneath the hands of Jason Hayward. That pitch straight out over the plate where he could extend his arms, and when that big strong guy extends his arms, he's going to do some damage.
As I was saying, you just felt like that was a key batter of the night. And Jason Hayward would love to play more games against the Cubs. He has now hit 4 career homers and knocked in 13 runs in just 9 games against the Cubs. And the beneficiary of all this is the guy at the plate, Mike Minor, now working with a 5-zip lead. Two and two. And he got him on the sinker. They're finally in the inning, but the Braves put up 5 runs, all with 2 outs. Question. Hall of Famer, only pitcher to win against the Braves in all 3 cities they called home.
Oh, you're hot, partner.
Roberts. Well, what gave it away is finished his career as a Cub in 1966. 12 against the Boston Braves, 21 versus Milwaukee, losing 24, and 1-0 in Atlanta. What a career. Cubs have some work to do, trailing 5-0.
Well, the good news is they have plenty of baseball left to get it back. Just peck away. Some runners on base, make something happen.
That's foul. Robin Roberts passed away last year, 2010, at 83. Born in Springfield, went to Michigan State, and spent most of his career with the Phillies. Another base hit for Ramirez. He's 2 for 2. 5 hits already in the set.
When a hitter is locked in at the plate, Len, it seems like you can make an adjustment while the ball is in the air. If you try to come inside on Ramirez with a fastball, he's quick enough to get the barrel on that ball. And if you try to throw him a changeup low and away, he can extend his swing long enough to get the barrel on that one as well. Well, if you could just bottle that and keep it for 162 games, you'd have an MVP season every year.
The Diamondbacks traded second baseman Kelly Johnson to the Blue Jays today. They acquired second baseman Aaron Hill, fielder John McDonald, and they also put Jason Marquis on the 60-day DL with a fractured right fibula. So those guys had to pass through waivers for that deal to be completed. As Baker bounces, they'll get one. They will only get one. That ball bounces into the stands. Ugla will be charged with an error.
Well, we were watching Alex Gonzalez take ground balls earlier today, Len, and marveling at just his field awareness, knowing where he is, knowing where his target is. He got that ball so quickly to Dan Ugla that they had a chance to turn that double play. Ugla's throw to first, however, way off the mark to Eric Hinsky, bounces up in the stands, and Jeff Baker will move into scoring position with one out.
The Rockies got third baseman Kevin Kuzminoff from the Oakland A's. Kuzminoff and cash for a player to be named later, or cash considerations, and he'll report to AAA Colorado Springs. Reportedly, Wandy Rodriguez has been claimed off waivers by the Rockies, and the Astros now have less than 2 days to either work out some sort of deal and trade him to the Rockies or pull him back off waivers. He's scheduled to make $36 million after this season. Pena could not hold up. Bill Welke made the call at third. I know we've said this before. I've never seen a guy check his swing as often as Pena does.
Boy, especially against the left-handed pitcher. He's struggled against lefties all season. You were talking earlier about the Cincinnati Reds and their success against left-handed pitchers, and a big part of that is Joey Votto and Jay Bruce, a couple of left-handed hitters that hit lefties very well.
Minor with a 3-1 that bounced right back up and hit Pena. Phillies reliever Jose Contreras will have elbow surgery, and that'll end his season. Been out since late June with a forearm strain. Former Cub Mark Pryor had his minor league appearance scrapped because of some shoulder discomfort. He's in the Yankees system and was going to pitch in a Gulf Coast League contest. One hopper's dropped by Uggla. The throw is still in time. Baker now at third, 2 outs.
Rarely does a second baseman have to rush his throw. Normally, at a normal position, the second baseman just knocks the ball down. You know you've got plenty of time to recover, but when you're standing out in medium depth right field, you've got to hurry to get that ball onto first base for the out. Dan Uggla is able to do it on that play.
Tell you, partner, I give Mark Pryor a lot of credit. He's 30 years old. He hasn't pitched in the majors in 5 years. Had a groin injury earlier this season. Pitching in the low minor leagues to try to come back and maybe pitch out of a major league bullpen. But boy, with shoulder discomfort does make you wonder how much longer he can go. Uggla makes a catch, and the Cubs strand a man at third. They trail 5-0 at the end of 4.
If you're the 500th texter, you could win 5 $5 footlong subs from Subway.
Swing and a miss on a changeup. Bourne was the only Brave who did not bat in the 5-run fourth. It was not a typical Michael Bourne swing right there, was it? That was a Jimmy Rollins or Rafael Furcal swing.
And Bourne just looks a little bit out of sync so far in the first 2 games of this series. Hopefully he'll stay that way until the Braves leave here and go to New York for their next series.
Shallow center. Bird will just simply knock it down and keep Bourne to a single. Bourne now has hit in 7 straight.
A little floater into center field. Like he cued it off the end of the bat a little bit, but Marlon Byrd just couldn't quite get there in time. Does keep it in front to make sure Michael Bourne does not advance. You can see from the shine on that baseball as it rolls away from Marlon Byrd. That grass in the outfield is damp tonight. Any ball that rolls any distance through that grass is going to be tough to get a handle on.
Bourne runs on the first pitch, and he is safe. Major League leading 46th steal for Michael Bourne, who was acquired at the trade deadline from Houston.
Personally, Len, I just don't think that should ever happen. A first pitch, no pickoff move to first, no step off the mound, no pitch out. You know, Michael Bourn wants to run every time he gets on base. Maybe the Cubs fell with a 5-0 lead. The Braves were going to shut down their running game, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Two and one to PRADO. Ramon Ortiz is up in the Cubs bullpen. Bounce back to Coleman. Bourn able to get back to second.
When you're a sinker ball pitcher, you better be a good fielder. Casey Coleman always in good position after he releases the pitch. Time looked Michael Bourn back to the bag at second before tossing on to get PRADO easily at first base.
Fans haven't had a whole lot to cheer about in the first two games of this series. Their team has yet to score a run. And they trailed tonight 5-0. Can very early on that swing at the end of the bat and trickled foul. Walking the Pirates split a doubleheader last night. And that was significant for this reason. Pirates ended a 13-game losing streak against the Brewers in game 2. And I guess it's back to normal tonight. 8-2 Brewers in the top of the 8th. Casey McGee with his 10th home run. Josh Harrison, the former Cub minor leaguer, with his first career blast. It was off Marco Estrada. Cardinals blew a 1-0 ninth inning lead last night, lost to the Dodgers 2-1. So they go in 9 games out tonight. Matt Holliday had to leave the game last night because he had a moth, a live moth, lodged in his ear.
I don't mean to laugh, but now that everything's okay and he's going to be fine, and to the best of my knowledge, the moth survived as well.
Yes, the moth was alive when they extracted it. Now, originally they tried to coax the moth out with a bright light, right?
Yeah, they put
like a moth to
Matt
a flame.
Holliday into a dark room and turned on a light or flashlight or something, trying to draw the moth back out of the ear canal.
I've seen some big moths. Either Matt Holliday has the biggest ear I've ever seen, or it was a small moth.
What are the chances in a major league ballpark that a moth would find its way into somebody's ear on the playing field?
Now, an earwig, that would make sense. Line to Pena, and he will throw it, even though Castro still a few feet off second base. Don't miss the action as the Cubs host The Braves this Thursday at Wrigley Field, game time 1:20, but be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will get a Cubs hat, compliments of Cannon. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Douglas started the 5-run 2-out rally in the 4th inning with an infield single. Seemed innocent at the time. 5 batters later would be 5-0. Sean Burroughs with his first big league home run since 2005. A 2-run shot for the Diamondbacks, who are, I'd say, in desperate need of a win, having lost their last 6 in a row. So they lead 2-0 in the 7th. In Washington, they scored 7 runs during their previous 6 games. Burroughs playing third.
You mentioned that Kelly Johnson for Aaron Hill trade earlier that the Diamondbacks had with the Toronto Blue Jays. Kelly Johnson, a big-time power hitter for a second baseman, but he also strikes out an awful lot, and that's something the Diamondbacks were hoping to remedy this year. Aaron Hill is a guy who does not strike out very often. Had a couple of subpar offensive seasons after back-to-back years hitting .291 a few years ago.
I mean, think about how many strikeouts you get rid of when you don't have Adam LaRoche, Mark Reynolds, and now, as you mentioned, Kelly Johnson. Takes away a little power, of course. Called strike 3. Halfway home on a Tuesday night, 5-0 Atlanta. All right, Cap, thanks. Cubs still without a run in this series. Bottom 3, Soriano, Soto, and a pinch hitter, it appears, for Casey Coleman, as that one is lifted in the air to left. Gone! A laser beam home run for Alfonso Soriano. It's 5-1. home run number 60 here at Wrigley Field in his career.
For 21 on the season, I don't even think he got all of that pitch. An 89-mile-an-hour fastball out over the plate. Looked like he hit it toward the end of the bat a little bit, but just drove it out of here into the bleachers in left field. Nearly 2 weeks since Soriano hit his last home run.
And that hit Soto maybe on the back foot. Freddie Gonzalez is going to come out and talk to Jeff Nelson about it.
Gio is usually one to wave off the trainer, whether he's hit by a foul tip behind home plate or in this case hit by a pitch. And for him to take this long to regroup and head down that first baseline, it must have got him pretty good.
I wonder if it got him on the toe.
Ouch. Oh man. Yeah, right off the big toe of the right foot as he tried to slide it out of the way there. It's that very definition of the back foot slider, that time carried to an extreme.
Darwin Barney will hit for the pitcher Coleman. Barney hasn't pinch hit much because he normally is in the lineup. 0 for 5 off the bench.
Another short outing for Casey Coleman tonight, but you can't help but look back at that 4th inning with 2 outs. That little roller by Dan Uggla to third base, and Ramirez tried the barehanded play, couldn't come up with it, and the floodgates open. Now Casey Coleman, if he's going to be successful at this level, has got to learn how to pitch around the mistakes by his defense, because they're going to bail him out of a lot of tough situations too.
Up the middle, Uggla just can't get it on the dive. That's a base hit. First as a pinch hitter this season by Darwin Barney. And the first 3 have reached here in the bottom of the 5th.
Minor with absolutely no effort whatsoever to field that comebacker that went right over the dirt part of the mound. Just kind of got out of the way, let it roll through, forcing Uggla to try a diving stop up the middle of the field. And now pitching coach Roger McDowell is going to make his way out to the mound, stall for a little time as the Braves have some activity in their bullpen.
See what these 3 guys have done here in the month of August. I don't think it's a coincidence that the Cubs have put together their best month of the season. It's Christian Martinez, former catcher, and current bullpen coach Eddie Perez watching.
Former valet catcher for Greg Maddux for a couple of years down in Atlanta.
And during the Javi Lopez era, generally Greg Maddux worked with Lopez's backup, who at one time was Henry Blanco. Soriano with a leadoff home run, and Soto was hit by a pitch. Barney followed that with a pinch hit single, and now a 1-1 to Castro. Swings and misses at a changeup.
You can watch a pitcher either for the Cubs or the opposing team. And when he gets into trouble, that's when he's going to go to his best pitch. Tonight for Minor, he's had a good fastball at times. We've seen him throw some heaters right by Cubs hitters, but when he gets into a jam with some runners on base, that changeup becomes more and more prevalent.
Well, he struck out 6 over the first 3 innings. Doesn't have one since.
And that's something that usually makes its way onto the advanced scouting report. You know, with nobody on base, he's going to challenge. He likes to throw his fastball. He will give you pitches to hit, but when you get runners on base, that's when he goes to his best secondary pitch, which in the case of Minor is that straight changeup.
Minor's only 23 years old, and this is just his 3rd pro season. And he only made 4 starts in 09, the year he was drafted. Fly ball to right. Hayward took a look back. He will make the catch as he backpedals to the track. Both guys tag. 2nd and 3rd with 1 out.
Easy decision to tag for Giovanni Soto, but you see Darwin Barney retreating to the bag. When he saw Hayward backpedaling on the warning track, he realized that he too could tag and get into scoring position on that deep fly ball by Castro.
Cornerman in, but back up the middle as Johnson tries to at least get 1 home here, not both.
Reed figures to get a good pitch to hit at some point in this at bat. Good change up that time from Minor. You've got Aramis Ramirez, as we documented in the open of the show, one of the hottest hitters on the planet, standing in that on deck circle. If you're the guy hitting ahead of him, you figure to get a lot of good pitches to hit. Change-up mania here in this inning. A couple runners on base after surrendering the solo home run to Soriano, and he has really gone to his secondary pitches.
Want to see a Cubs game from the front row here at Wrigley Field? Now you can go to Cubs.com, click on the CBOE front row seats auction to bid on tickets in the front row behind home plate and along the first base line. Front row seats will be auctioned off to every game all season long. Don't miss your chance. Go to Cubs.com and check out the CBOE front row seats auction today. Foul pop into the Braves bullpen. Johnson is out. not hold up.
Slider this time from Minor. Better look at it from this angle. You rarely see Reed Johnson argue unless he thinks he's right. Very close, but it looked like he was able to hold up.
Guys just want the home plate umpire to ask. He struck out 3 times tonight. .24 hits during this 12-game hitting streak for Ramirez. Make it 25, and it's 5-3 as 2 runs score. Well, Minor had first base open. Thought he might try to work around Ramirez, but he did not.
Boy, there is just no safe area to pitch Aramis Ramirez right now. He's driving fastballs away to the opposite field, off-speed pitches. He's pulling into left field. If you make a mistake up in the zone, he's hitting it out of the ballpark. I don't think you really can pitch around him right now. I think if you don't want him to swing the bat, you have to walk him intentionally.
Double number 30. Tying run at the plate, Jeff Baker, ground ball. Gonzalez. Bad throw, Ramirez coming around, he'll score. It's 5-4. A rare bad throw from Alex Gonzalez, and Hinske could not dig it out.
Just a little lackadaisical that time from Alex Gonzalez. A very routine play for him. Just kind of flipped the ball across the diamond with a sidearm delivery. Had a lot of sink on it. Eric Hinske filling in for Freddie Freeman at first base tonight just couldn't come up with it, and then didn't locate the ball immediately. Ramirez was able to come around and score from second base. We got a ball game.
Yes, we do. The Braves got 5 in the 4th. The Cubs now with 4 in the 5th. And the Braves have shifted, but again, they put Chipper Jones, a third baseman, over on the first base side of second, and they've left the shortstop, Alex Gonzalez, in his normal spot.
We've had a lot of discussions about this in the past when Alan Trammell was the bench coach here for Lou Piniella, and fine infield instructor, and I always felt this is the way to do it. The shortstop is the guy that has the best range, and I think he would be the guy that I would prefer to have be the lone defender on that left side of the infield, because he's going to cover more ground than Chipper Jones can cover if he were playing as the only man on the left side of the infield.
You put 1, not 2 guys out of position this way. The teams who do it the other way say, well, you do this shift because you assume Peña's going to hit the ball to the right side of the infield, and if your shortstop's a better defender, you'd rather have him over on that other side. So 2 ways to look at it. Peña up in the air as Bourne continues to go back to the warning track, and he makes the grab up against the ivy. Peña just missed, giving the Cubs the lead. As it is, they get 4 runs. And it all started with Alfonso Soriano. That home run to lead off the inning. They would score 3 more times in the inning. David Kaplan as Chipper Jones greets John Grabo with a leadoff single on the very first pitch. Again, Chicago Tribune Live, presented by Captain Morgan, weeknights at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Double switch. Well, Barney had pinch hit. And not really a double switch, but Grabo stays in the Jeff Baker's spot. And Barney in that ninth spot now after pinch hitting. 1-0 on Eric Hinske. Cubs need a shutdown inning after getting back into this game. One and one.
Good possibility for a double play here if John Grabo can keep that ball down on the outer third of the plate to Hinske. You've got Chipper Jones at first base, who's not real aggressive as a base runner at this stage in his career, and Hinske does not run well at all.
Got a nice note from Charles Bloom. Watches every day and every night. And Skokie as Hinske strikes out. He's been following Cubs baseball since he was in the third grade in 1929.
What grade's he in now?
Gonzalez took a bases loaded walk for the first run of the night in the fourth inning. That preceded the Jason Hayward grand slam. Alex Gonzalez has something not a lot of major leaguers can brag about. A game-ending home run in the World Series. It was against the Yankees in 2003. Off Jeff Weaver in the bottom of the 12th inning in Miami in Game 4. It was the first game-winning home run against the Yankees in the World Series since Bill Mazeroski ended the 1960 World Series. Swing and a miss on a changeup.
Good pitch by John Grabo. That changeup fading off the outside corner. Gonzalez chases it right out of the zone.
The left center. Well, Hayward hits the ball hard, doesn't he? Wearing a Braves uniform, kind of reminds you of Ryan Klesko.
He certainly doesn't get cheated, and when he is swinging well and driving the ball to the opposite field as he's done here tonight, he gets tremendous backspin on those line drives. That one just shot past Starlin Castro. Good looking young hitter. I know he's had a rough sophomore season here and he's lost a lot of playing time with Jose Constanza's emergence. I think there's about 29 other teams in the major leagues that would love to have a guy like Jason Hayward looking to the future.
Veteran Julio Lugo bats for Minor, who can still get the win. Exiting with a 5-4 lead, trying to improve to 3-0 lifetime against the Cubs. 1 ball, no strikes. Lugo signed a minor league contract with the Braves in late May. and came up about a month later. 0 for his last 12.
It's tough to get a lot of playing time if you're a backup infielder for the Atlanta Braves. Other than the injuries that Chipper has suffered from time to time this season, they've got an everyday infield. With Chipper and Gonzalez and Ugla at those three positions that are going to play just about every day.
Two on, two down. We're in the 6th. Smothered by Soto, 3-1. Shin-Soo Choo with a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 9th. First game of a doubleheader today as Cleveland beats Seattle 7-5. Marlon got away from Graybo, and that loads the bases. Here comes Mark Riggins. I guess the press box moved, and some fans headed toward the exits during that game 1 because of the shock waves from the earthquake. It was in Virginia. They delayed the opening of the gates at Nationals Park tonight. I guess they could feel it at Yankee Stadium. Everybody was okay.
It was highly unusual. I mean, you expect that in San Diego or LA or San Francisco, but small quake in Colorado, now in Virginia.
One other final from tonight. Phillies over the Mets 9-4. Vance Worley is 9-1. He beat Jonathan Neese. 1-1. Bases full of Braves with 2 outs here in the 6th. In case you're wondering, the Phillies will finish over 500. It was their 83rd win. Most they can lose is 79.
It's one of the better foregone conclusions you've had so far this season.
Darwin Barney picks it up, and they leave the bags loaded. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 5-4 Atlanta. is on demand with Xfinity TV from Comcast. Don't miss the action. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. Right-hander Christian Martinez will now work for the Braves. This game is up to the bullpens from here on out.
It's another guy you're going to see a lot of secondary pitches. Really likes his changeup a lot. Throws a lot of sliders. Only throws his fastball about 45% of the time. There's one right there at 90 with a lot of sinking, tailing action.
'29-year-old righty, the Marlon Bird. Gonzalez slings it across. That's the Alex Gonzalez we're used to seeing after he made that throwing error in the 5th inning. Is there a shortstop who gets rid of the ball faster than Alex Gonzalez?
You know, I used a word a week or so ago to talk about defensive play at shortstop, flow, and Alex Gonzalez does it as well as anybody I've ever seen in the game. Especially when he goes down to a knee, uses that slide stop to control his body. That time got rid of it as quickly as you possibly could.
Soriano hooks it into left. Second consecutive hit, and he's going to try for a double. Safe. He got in. A hustle double for Alfonso Soriano.
Top spin line drive by Alfonso Soriano with that uppercut swing. Chases Prado toward the line in left field. A long throw, just offline enough to allow Soriano to get in on his belly with a double. Just offline and high enough as Ugla had to go up to field that I-1 hopper. That gave Soriano room to get in underneath.
Soto took a pitch off his foot in his previous at bat. Now he hits one off his foot.
Yeah, the hit by pitch was on the right foot. This one looked like it caught him on the left foot. He can't even limp now. Oh, it got him on the knee, the right knee. Jeez.
Martinez now set, and his 1-2 is popped into right. Jason Hayward one-hands it. That's out number 2. Hey fans, check out the new Cubs Kids Club presented by ComEd, the official kids club of the Chicago Cubs. Help your favorite young Cub fan earn his or her pinstripes as a member of the Cubs Kids Club, and they'll receive kid-specific perks, experiences, and merchandise throughout the 2011 baseball season. Visit Cubs.com to sign up today. Barney did not start the game. He pinch hit and singled and scored in the 5th, and then stayed in to play 2nd. Lefty George Sherrill is up in the Braves bullpen.
And then possibly some bad news for the Arizona Diamondbacks there. All-star, superstar right fielder Justin Upton was plunked on the elbow by a Jordan Zimmerman pitch in the 4th inning and had to come out of the ball game. I don't think this one is over. He was hit 4 times in a 4-game series in Arizona against the Nationals earlier this year. Benches erupted a couple of times in that series. Imagine it's going to happen again tonight.
We'll keep an eye on that as Barney strikes out. Cubs strand a man in scoring position, trailing 5-4 as we head off to the 7th.
Hayward went down and golfed a pitch out of here to left center field with the bases loaded. One bad inning tonight for Casey Coleman. Really came unglued. Had 2 outs in the inning. Just couldn't get that 3rd out.
Kerry Wood, who struck out the side in the 9th inning last night, has been a strikeout machine, especially here lately. PRADO, McCann, and Uggla. Hall of Fame football coach and Chicago native Marv Levy will conduct the 7th inning stretch. Was he not the author of the over officious jerk?
Yes, he was.
Line? One of my favorites. Barney with a long run, and a lot of time as there was good hang time on that pop up. Outside to McCann.
Major Kerrywood has been really good in the month of August. Over his last 8 appearances, total of 6 2/3 innings, he's allowed only 3 hits, 1 earned run. That came on a home run by Ramon Hernandez of the Cincinnati Reds. He has not walked a batter and struck out 15 over his last 6 2/3.
Good cutter, 1-2 the count. Dan Uggla's on deck. Just missed on a backdoor curve. Similar pitch, 3-2.
Just off of that outside corner. You know, Len, I think it's important that Woody mixes in that pitch every outing just to show it, just to make sure the other team knows that he will throw a curveball.
Swing and a miss on a cutter. 2 outs. Stroll through the home of the Chicago Cubs, get an insider's look at more than 97 years of history in this legendary ballpark. Guided tours may include visits to the press box, clubhouses, and dugouts, as well as a chance to actually step on the field. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Tour sizes are limited and sell out fast, so get your tickets today. 4-seamer to Dan Uggla. Gio again. Was it the right leg again?
Not sure where that one got
That would
him.
be 3 tonight.
I don't think it matters at this point.
No. Let's see. Right foot, right knee. Yeah.
Down on that right foot again. Fortunately, that extension on the bottom of the shin guard hopefully absorbed some of that one. They seem to run in cycles. You can go for a month or more of the season and not get hit with a foul tip, not get hit by a pitch, and then in one night it seems like you're a dartboard. Wind has really picked up here in this inning. It's been blowing pretty much straight out to center field all night, but considerably stronger now than it's been at any point.
Swing and a miss. Marv Levy with a stretch.
Guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, Hall of Fame NFL football coach Marv Levy.
Okay, Cub fans, let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never come back, for it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Okay, Cubbies, let's get some runs.
And you hear us? Okay.
Can you hear okay? You need a little more.
I'm good. Thanks,
okay.
Bob.
Okay.
As they were able to get 4 runs in the 5th inning. Always great to have with us a Hall of Famer, Marv Levy. Coach, how are you? Nice to see you.
Thank you, Len. It's my pleasure to be with you and with Bob.
Good to see you, Marv.
Thank you.
And football is back. It's great to see. It's like it never left. Well, it kind of felt that way, but it'll be great to get things going on time, won't it?
It sure will. I'm glad they resolved it. I couldn't understand why they didn't, but football is here, and I love it. I love baseball.
There's a strike on Starlin Castro as we get started here in the home half of the 7th. I want to ask you how you watch NFL games now. Most fans follow the ball. Do you follow the ball? What do you watch?
I follow the situation.
Okay.
What the situation is, I make a guess what I ought to do, what I would do in the similar situation. I'm trying to think ahead a down or two. So maybe I watch it a little bit differently.
Big rip there by Castro. And you've got a book coming out next month.
Yes,
Between the Lines. Tell us about it.
It's Between the Lies, and it's a fiction. I was an English major in college, among others, and I always just longed to write, and once I retired I had the chance. I don't want to keep interrupting what's going on in the game. I had the chance. For many years I put aside potential plot lines. I put aside character studies, interesting things, tried to build suspense where there could be suspense. There's a love story weaved in, there's humor, there's some owner, coach, general manager behind the scenes relationships which are very revealing, and there's some real characters in the book, to tell you the truth.
Between the Lies. Look forward to that.
And how was that process for you, Marv? I mean, did you set aside a time each day to sit down and write, or did you write as the mood struck you, or?
No, once I retired, Bob, I went back as general manager for a couple of years. Once I retired from that, I was up at 6 in the morning and writing, and I had to pull myself away sometime. It's a hard process, but it was a fun process. And again, wow, it was fun, but it was difficult. and I had to rewrite it about 20 times before it finally got to where I liked the way it flowed. But it does now.
0-2 to Reed Johnson. Martinez in his 2nd inning of work, and that'll drop down out in left center. So Johnson with his first hit. It's a 1-out single in front of the red-hot Aramis Ramirez, who's already 3 for 3 with a 2-run double. Marv, we talk all the time about baseball and the iconic ballparks like the one we're sitting in tonight, Fenway Park and Yankee Stadium. How about some of the iconic football stadiums? Did you have a couple of favorites?
Well, we did play in Yankee Stadium from time to time. And while you're talking that, how about Soldier Field? When I was a young kid back in the 1940s, I played in a city championship game in Soldier Field. And was that a thrill? So Soldier Field maybe more than any of the others. The Coliseum out in L.A. for a while. Most of those stadiums are gone by now.
4 for 4. Ramirez keeps hitting, and the tying run is 90 feet away with 1 out for Blake DeWitt.
Well, if there's a hotter hitter in baseball, I don't know who it is. Even when he gets jammed, he gets base hits. That time, that little tailing fastball got in on the hands of Ramirez just a little bit, but he was strong enough to muscle it into center field for a base hit.
So that's going to be it with Blake DeWitt announced. Make sure you check out Between the Lies. Again, the book will be out in September. The Chicago native and Hall of Fame NFL coach Marv Levy. Marv, thanks for stopping by. We look forward to the book and come back many more times, okay?
My pleasure, and I like the way the Cubs are coming back tonight, too.
Thanks, Coach. The Toyota Call to the Pen. We'll be back. The Toyota Call to the Pen, veteran left-hander George Sherrill will strike out some guys. You see 37 Ks and 35 in a third innings. He needs one here. The tying run at third. He also could get a double play ball. Blake DeWitt in a pretty good position here as a pinch hitter. Let's see what he can do. He gets hit by the first pitch to load the bases.
Sherrill, a fastball slider pitcher. Early in his career, he had the full complement, fast curve slider change, but at this stage of his career as a left-handed specialist out of the pen, just features a fastball and a slider, and Blake DeWitt got a real up-close and personal look at a fastball right there.
Roger McDowell will come out and probably tell Sherrill, don't hit the next guy. That'll tie the game.
That's good coaching.
Thanks to Marv Levy for stopping by. What a good guy he is. As Arodys Vizcaíno gets loose. So here's Pena. The base is full and only one out. Breaking ball for a strike.
Or maybe I'm just naturally suspicious or paranoid or whatever you want to call it. But when George Sherrill gets a new ball from the umpire, he takes it and puts it in his bare hand and really grinds it into that black leather glove. You see him doing it right there. I would have to ask the umpire to go check and see what's in that glove. He might just be putting a smudge on the baseball, anything to make it tougher for the hitter to pick up. I see a guy grinding a baseball like that. I usually suspect that he's trying to put some kind of a scuff on the ball, which of course is illegal.
Do you need probable cause? Search warrant?
You have to take a lawyer out to the mound with you, but yeah.
One and two the count. Here's the pitch. Good take. And he got him.
Boy, Sherrill has a delivery where it almost seems like he's jumping at the hitter. Barely comes to a set position and then glides into his delivery. And that time, an 87-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone blew it right by Carlos Pena.
With Marlon Byrd due up, it'll be a right-hander, 20-year-old Arodys Vizcaíno, another Toyota call to the pin. We'll be back in the seventh. Cubs trying to tie it up at least. Against Arodys Vizcaíno, 20-year-old right-hander, and a multiple hopper to Dan Uggla, and the Cubs leave them loaded. Stranded 8 more tonight, and they're down 1 to the 8th. Cubs game, head to StubHub where you'll find the seats you want, the freedom to choose where you want to sit. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Chicago Cubs. For more information, visit Cubs.com/StubHub. More left on base frustration tonight for the Cubs. Trailing by a run. 1 for 12 tonight with runners in scoring position. Here's Sean Marshall. First pitch, curveball to now right-handed hitting Chipper Jones for a strike. A tough play, and the throw is offline. Jones will have an infield hit. His third tonight. One of the third basemen in this game have combined for 7 hits.
Well-placed grounder that time. Chipper rolls over an inside fastball, chasing Castro into that hole. Does everything he can do to try to get the out at first base, but throw is high and pulls Pena off the bag. Chipper on with an infield hit.
Probably a better question for Ivan De Jesus, and I know Ivan has talked to Castro about his footwork. That again was a very difficult play, but it does seem like he would rather not plant that back foot and fire it, that he likes to throw on the move.
Now sometimes that's the only play you have, and I think that was the case on that particular ground ball. But as we've seen Alex Gonzalez in the first 2 games of this series on similar balls hit to the hole at short, he goes into a slide, puts his left leg underneath, extends his right leg so that as soon as that ball is into his glove, he plants that right foot, raises up to his feet, and then throws across the diamond. And by fielding it that way, you could see his momentum continued to carry him toward the foul line, which makes it a much tougher throw back across your body, not to mention the distance he had to throw that ball.
Through the legs of Marshall, backhanded by Barney, and they will get the out. I can't believe how much happened on that play, and they still got Chipper Jones.
It looked like Darwin wanted to go with the backhanded flip. Then he lost the ball out of his bare hand, stayed with it. Castro comes off the base. Barney tosses it, and Castro somehow managed to get back ahead of the sliding Chipper Jones. Boy, that is a very discombobulated play, but the Cubs end up with an out at second base. Well, that's why you never quit on a play. As long as that ball's still bouncing around and runners are running around the bases, you're obliged to continue to play the game. Worked out well that time.
Diving stop, the flip, the turn. 6-4-3. That was a beauty. And that gets Marshall out of the top of the 8th. Cap, thanks. Freddie Freeman in to play first for Hinsky. Vizcaíno with a 1-0 to Soriano. Swing and a miss at a breaker.
Well, that ground ball where Chipper Jones was forced at second. You saw the Cubs fumbling around with the ball at second base. Chipper assumed he was going to be out. He really broke it down about halfway to second base. Cost the Braves at least 90 feet right there.
And a real late slide as he tried to recover. You can hurt yourself on a play like that. As you say, you break it down and you try to quickly get it back.
Well, 3 guys involved in that play up the middle, the base runner and the 2 defenders. Fortunately, the 2 defenders stayed with the play. Chipper quit on it.
Chased a bad one. That's the first out. Here comes Giovanni Soto. If there's any justice in this world, he's going to hit a game-tying home run.
Yeah, it's been a rough night for Gio physically. Took a pitch off the right big toe. Fouled a ball off his own knee, the back knee that time. And then another foul ball just to make sure you knew where that first bruise was. He gets hit with a foul tip.
Two away here in the 8th. If you don't get something here, you're looking at Craig Kimbrell in the 9th. The Daily Double Burger is back for a limited time at participating McDonald's for $1.89. Wind howling straight out to center. Flags are really blowing hard. Eric O'Flaherty is up just in case here in the 8th.
There's not a left-handed hitter due up for the Cubs until the 4th spot in the lineup. Well, pinch hitter in that spot. And only left-handed bats available off the bench right now for Mike Quade, so just in case Freddie Gonzalez has his lefty just playing catch down there in the bullpen.
Diamondbacks did win. They snapped their 6-game slide, even though they only got 2 runs on a home run by Sean Burroughs. But Ian Kennedy got the win. He's 16-4. He beat the Nationals' Jordan Zimmerman 2-0 the final. So their lead back to a 1.5 games. The Giants are home against the Padres tonight, trailing 1-0 in the 2nd. Milwaukee did beat the Pirates 11-4 for their 78th win. Seattle came back, beat Cleveland in the 2nd game of their doubleheader 12-7. Kosuke hit his first homer as an Indian in Game 2. Kansas City over Toronto 6-4. We know where Dickie V is tonight. He's in St. Petersburg, and hoping his Rays can come back against Detroit. Tigers 2, Rays 1 with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. Tying runs in scoring position.
Good battle here for Darwin Barney. He's fouled off a number of tough pitches. Vizcaíno has good stuff. He throws in the mid to upper 90s consistently with that fastball. Has a good breaking pitch, but that's basically it. Just a 2-pitch guy. Darwin Barney has seen them both over the course of this at bat. Hopefully he gets one he can drive.
Another 2-2. Little pop up and the pitcher will go get it in foul territory. As Vizcaíno faced 4, retired all 4. Again, we'll probably see Kimbrel in the bottom of the ninth. First things first, the top of the ninth. It's 5-4. In action here on Comcast Sportsnet. Tune in as Randy Wells goes for another win against the Braves. Coverage starts at 6:30 with Sportsnet Central. Then the Cubs hosting the Braves at 7. Only on your home for Cubs baseball, Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Derek Lowe and Randy Wells tomorrow night. Sinker, 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 change up, slider, sinker. Jason Hayward with a big blow in this game, his first career grand slam. That was back in the 4th. Switch hitting Brooks Conrad is on deck on the right side. Cardinals are going to be 10 games back. They trail 11-0 to the Dodgers in the bottom of the 8th. And we mentioned the Brewers have already won. A squeak under the glove of Carlos Pena and into right. I know it's been a tough year for Hayward. We haven't seen a lot of him. But when he's made contact tonight, he has hit the ball hard.
Even this one, just a topspin grounder, but it shot past a real good defensive first baseman right there. Carlos Pena into right field. Hayward with his 3rd hit of the night, including his first grand slam of his career.
I think the strangest thing about Hayward is his patience has not been there. He walked 91 times last season in his rookie campaign, only 38 this year. And he hasn't played nearly as much. There's Kimbrel, Major League saves leader, already with 39. And the Major League rookie record is 40. Neftali Feliz last year with Texas set that record with 40. So Kimbrel could tie it potentially tonight. A little harder to buckle the knees of a batter from the opposite side. A lefty to a righty, but that was pretty close.
Yes, it was. Occasionally you'll see that, a left-handed breaking ball that will jelly leg a right-handed hitter. Doesn't happen often.
Swing and a miss for out number one.
Big out in the inning right there for Sean Marshall. His breaking stuff is really crisp tonight as well, especially the big curveball has a lot of downward movement, a lot of depth as it gets into that hitting zone. Conrad, one of the better pinch hitters in the National League, had 3 home runs off the bench this year already for Freddie Gonzalez, but went down on strikes that time. Ten previous at bats for Michael Bourne against Sean Marshall. It has not been much fun for Michael Bourne. He's 2 for 10 with 7 strikeouts in those 10 at bats.
A few of those were this year when he was with Houston. Now the closer is up, Carlos Marmol. This is Marshall's second inning of work. Reds beat the Marlins tonight 8-6, a 4-run ninth. Did the job. Barney will charge the flip. They get one. That's it.
Know your opposition. Michael Bourne running out of that left-handed batter's box with his speed on a slowly hit ball. Starlin Castro looked like he wanted to throw to first base. I don't think they had any chance to get Michael Bourne on that play.
PRADO is 0 for 8 so far in the series. Got an RBI and a fielder's choice in the game last night. Bourne takes off. The pitch was a strike. The throw, however, just a tad late. Second steal for Michael Bourne tonight.
At least he had to earn this one. The last one he just took off on the first pitch. This time Sean Marshall threw over to first base. He quick pitched to home. Held the ball a little bit longer on this delivery, but man, when you can run, you can run. And Michael Bourne, make no mistake about it, can run.
And that is deep and caught. The dive by Marlon Byrd saves that extra run, keeps the Cubs within one. PRADO really thumped it out into deep left center, but Marlon Byrd able to make the grab. Cubs trailed at 1.5-0 as the Braves got 5 runs with 2 outs in the 4th inning, but the Cubs got 4 runs, 1 unearned included, in the 5th. That's been it for the scoring tonight. And here is Craig Kimbrell, who has arguably been the best closer in all of baseball this season, and he's only a rookie.
Opponent's batting average of 174, 101 strikeouts against 25 walks. Big time power pitcher, fastball in the mid to upper 90s, a slider in the mid to upper 80s. It's an extremely fast arm, really drives that ball into the hitting zone.
Well, he's got 39 saves, which leads the majors. He has blown 5. I suppose Jose Valverde may raise his hand and say, hey, I'm perfect, 37 for 37. But Kimbrell has been as dominating as anybody. Been a while. And look at the guy right behind him, Johnny Venters. Streaks and records are made to be broken. 30 consecutive scoreless games going back over 2 months. June 14th against the Mets.
Well, it's small consolation if you have to stand in the batter's box and face Kimbrell, but he is around the plate pretty much all the time. He's not a guy that's going to try to paint the outside corner on you or nibble away with a slider. He's going to throw everything hard for the middle of the plate.
Swing and a miss. Blew it past Castro at 97. Well, this started last year. In 21 appearances last season, 4-0 with 1 save, 9 hits in almost 21 innings, and 40 strikeouts, and 1 earned run. He's allowed 1 home run in his career.
At every level he's pitched, he's averaged at least a strikeout per inning. A couple of seasons, or a couple of stops rather, in the minor leagues for the Braves, as many as 2 strikeouts per inning.
Reed Johnson. Not a bad idea. Just trying to find a way to get on. Not the position you want to be in against this guy, 0-2. Like Johnny Venters. Well, you get behind these guys and you got to think fast. And many times you get into swing mode. Jones to Freeman. That might have caught more of the plate than Kimbrel wanted, but he got fairly weak contact.
So far,
strength against strength now.
Oh, yeah.
You got Kimbrel and Ramirez.
And so far, every pitch Kimbrel has thrown has either been in the middle of the strike zone or at least around the edges. He hasn't thrown anything way out of the zone.
Well, McCann just went out to chat with Kimbrel, and he either said, don't even try to pitch to him, he's red hot, or what do you think? Kimbrel probably said, I'll go at him.
He has surrendered 1 home run this season. You can double that right here. It's the first time it looked like he made a concerted effort to hit a spot. He was trying to go low and away and missed off the plate further away.
It just looks like they're going to stay away from him, and he's going to tie the game. They're going to make him hit it to the opposite field. The wind still blowing hard straight out. You don't have to swing too hard against this guy. He'll supply the power. Ooh, 2-1.
7-mile-per-hour fastball. Big swing that time by Ramirez. Swing it up just a tad. Talk about a short slider. And hits way over in the left-handed batter's box and in the dirt in front of home plate.
Fans getting on their feet. A 2-2 pitch. It's high. 36,639.
I like the way he took that pitch. It looked like he had a real good beat on that last delivery from Kimbrel.
Out into short right, and a base hit. He's 5 for 5, and now on his way to second. That could be big. Should be a single and an error. And you'd have to imagine Tony Campana's getting loose to pinch run. Tying run now is in scoring position. That is the first 5-hit game of Aramis Ramirez's career.
The other 4 were bullets. This one a blooper, but it works effectively. That ball really checked up in the grass out there in right field. Hayward had some trouble with it, and Ramirez ends up in scoring position.
Hey, Bob, we got to give the 2 veterans credit tonight. Ramirez and Soriano both running well and running hard, each getting an extra base on their hits.
But don't we have to run Tony Campana here? That's a tying run of the ball game there. There's 2 outs in the inning. I don't know what you would save him for at this point.
Braves outfielder still very deep as Colvin could not hold up. He's batting in the pitcher's spot. Oh, 2. Well, he struck him out to end the game. So Kimbrel comes on, gives up a 2-out single to Ramirez, but strikes out 2, and he is now tied and undoubtedly will eventually break Neftali Feliz's rookie record for saves. That's 40 on the year for Craig Kimbrel, leading the major leagues. So the final score tonight, the Braves 5, the Cubs 4, and our GMC player of the game, Jason Hayward, probably only in the lineup because of the injury to Jose Constanza. He had 3 hits, including a big grand slam.
It was unfortunate. Casey Coleman was pitching very effectively up until that inning, got 2 quick outs, and then the wheels came off, and that's all the Braves needed tonight.
It's 3 consecutive losses for the Cubs after winning the first 2 on this 7-game homestand. And that'll wrap up our game coverage. Stay tuned, more to come on Coors Light Post-Game Live. Final score tonight, the Braves 5, the Cubs 4. We're back at you tomorrow night at 7, Game 3 of this series. Derek Lowe and Randy Wells here on CSN. In-game scoring provided by ScorePad, and now for Bob and our entire Comcast Sportsnet crew, led by Bob Albrecht, the birthday boy, Dave Turner, Tamara Anderson, Jim Corno Jr., Mark Harper, and our entire crew. Len Casper sending it over to Pat and Luke in our downtown Chicago studios.